and we have the route towards Salt Lake City. The route is entered, and it's normal. We also have a weight of 1,600 cargo, 33 passengers, OA, OB 55, OC 55. So the zero fuel weight is 137.9 and gross weight 153.3 in here. I have paddles, the tiller separately, separate throttles, and the rest of the good stuff. Okay, with the full force feedback yoke, which I use with the setting of an Airbus, sort of like there's a specific setting of the Airbus stick which has few detents, and it's there's a ways where it comes to sturdiness and how it is. It's available on internet. You can find the force feedback and distance of travel and force applied in newtons, etc. So it's all tuned up to the original, so it's pretty good. I've flown this model long enough with it. It's perfect. Same as paddles too. Okay, now seems to me like the left paddle is a little bit off here, so I'm just gonna give it a little just to see if what's going on, because I can see that we are kind of currently more to the left, and it's just kind of strange. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, so that was my first question. Okay, so you see the rudder trim is towards the left, right? Now the rudder trim usually does not, usually I can say it's for 100%, I believe 99% of what I know is the rudder trim does not affect the nose wheel steering, because these are separate, right? I'm gonna reset it. You can see the pedals resetting, so I think it is either the simulator limitation as far as sim things. If you're steering with a rudder, it's for sure it's gonna steer with the pedals. I mean no steer. Now I know the fact of the pedal disconnect, how it's done, so let's clear that out here so there will be no questions about that one. Alright, so out here let's check. Just so you see what's in it. There it is. Also for the rudder pedals here, the pedal control and W steering off. Off pedals work in tandem with steering tiller. I don't need that since I have separate. I don't have a sticky either. What else? I think that's it. The only thing I would like to also set here is enable icing detectors. So that was so I was wondering, my initial wonder was like, when we fly and we use the engine out procedures, and then when we trim the beta range, not the beta range but the beta when we trim the beta target after takeoff, and we're supposed to set that new target and then turn on the autopilot, and that stays. And I believe I've had a problem with it since when I landed. Should never seen anything that you need to, anything like that says that you need to reset the trim on landing with the engine out. But apparently that would be something logical to do, since you would need your rudder full authority both sides, and it would kind of create ground problems there. So I'm just gonna reset it for the main thing. All right, now, so let's go. Yeah, all right, so set here. We're gonna, with a normal SID, we're gonna get out an initial climb it to, we are on runway 1, by the way. We climb to 12,400 and jack radial 007 to gear, and right turn heading 037 intercept jack, radial 017 to Nalsi, then right turn to intercept DNW, radial 267 to DNW VOR. So it looks like this. Okay, it's all set here, all set in here. Some companies, and I know it's a good thing to double check these things, kind of like double verify, such as go to RadNav, make sure this is all set, just in case we lose any navigation, so the primary, and then we revert to the old way. Okay, so that would be 017. Of course, that's what we're gonna need to join out. So 017, I'm gonna set in here. All right, and jack is already set. Okay, now for the init, we are cruise level, of course, 33 cost index. The performance is 2up15, and it's set here. Status recall is done as normal. The speeds are 24, 31, 34, and thrust reduction and acceleration per airline is 7460 here, and acceleration is the same. The engine out acceleration in Jackson Hole is 8,000 for this specific airline, and the engine out SID in here is from runway 1 is track 007 to 15 nautical miles in hold. So this is why we came, and it's what I would like always doing. That's setting the EO SID. Wires. Okay, so I set the engine out SID, as well as I programmed the secondary flight plan for the time if we need to come back to the same airport and land. So it says here I created a the PBD from jack 007 track to distance 15, how it's supposed to be. So, and I also have kind of made a circle, like a radius around it, so it'll be better seen. So if when I'm gonna be taking off, I already have that information here. So until I switch off to the secondary flight plan for the option of engine out SID, and then eventually come back to land to the same field, which I already programmed for the RNAV X-ray. As can be seen here, so it's all programmed here. So it's really comfortable for me. That way I can right away start the EO SID, engine out SID, and proceed without have to worry to do a lot of navigations, because navigation is going to be right in front of me. Alright, so just gonna concentrate on the flying the aircraft, and then do a procedure, do the ecom action, secure the engine, and then take it from there. So navigate, communicate, the whole mantra, you know this. Okay. All right, so a bit of briefing just before. So for any ecom warning caution below 100 knots, I will reject, and I'll call stop. For between 100 and V1, I only reject for severe damage, fire warning, sudden loss of engine thrust, malfunctions, ecom is triggered, and failure within 20 knots of V1, tire failure, yeah, and wind shear. Alright, so let's discuss what we're gonna do. Let's discuss what we're gonna do if the failure occurs after V1, and that's what's actually is gonna happen. So so that's actually for any failure, because it still can fail. I have failures on already, and we're gonna arm the crucial failures that will happen here. So before 100 or V1, I'll call out the malfunction. So if it's engine, I'll say engine out, or engine fire, or tire failure, and I'll call stop. Well, basically, sometimes not to, it doesn't matter. Captain can say stop, and you know, first stop and then ask questions. All right, so call out malfunction, call stop or go. If I call stop, I will reject the takeoff procedure and bring the airplane to complete stop. So I will do that, and I will set the parking brake and call attention cruise station. You as a F4 will monitor rev green and accel and silence any oral warnings and inform ATC. Therefore, you will carry the ecom actions on my command. And if evac is required, I will carry out the emergency evacuation checklist later. Now, failure after V1 will continue takeoff, and no actions before 400 of any kind, except silencing the oral warning and gear up, obviously. Reaching 400 feet AJL, ecom actions on my command. So you'll wait for my command for ecom actions. For engine failure, damage fire, when engine is secured, we'll stop ecom. We'll reach 1,000 feet, 1,500 feet AGL, and we'll push vertical speed to level off, accelerate, and clean up. That's what usually it is, but in this case we'll reach 8,000 MSL, push vertical speed to level off, accelerate, and clean up. And if engine is not secured, continue climbing until engine is secured. But ensure to accelerate max engine out acceleration altitude, even if an engine is not secured. At green dot, we'll open climb, select MCT, continue ecom, check status, and we'll consider relight if anything. Follow the engine out set, okay? Alright, so what I'm gonna do as far as engine failure after V1, I'm gonna go into it. We're gonna continue to take off like nothing happened, and we're gonna concentrate on flying the aircraft initially, and as always, right? So if any, and there will be a jolt left, right, you know, depending on which engine fails. And you know that saying, in dead foot, dead engine. So the usually towards what engine you put, you know, dead foot, dead engine, basically. So you'll see how it's gonna kind of yaw left or right, and you'll see it. So you will have a normal tendency as a pilot to correct it with your paddles. So as that, you'll know already. Plus, you'll have the yeah, we're gonna accelerate. Meanwhile, what is gonna happen? We're gonna rotate to 12.5 pitch. Okay. When safely airborne, we'll follow SRS orders, and the Bravo target, Beta target, or whatever you can call it, we'll zero it out. So these send send clock, whatever it's called, that lower part will turn blue and it will go to left or right. So if it goes to the left, we're gonna follow it with the paddle. So if it goes to the left, we're gonna you know, apply left rudder smoothly to go towards it. So you always follow that bottom, right? And then simultaneously I'm gonna apply the rudder trim. Now I have rudder trim mapped on my devices, so I can do it without looking at it, you know what I mean? So right here, but keep in mind that this takes time. So when you press, you might need some 10 seconds of applying rudder trim in order before it will do anything. So even though you'll have not right away you'll have any action, but keep in mind that it's happening. Okay, so as soon as you get that, as soon as we get that handled, and this is going to be in the middle, I'm gonna to release the workload. I'm gonna press the autopilot 1 right on the left side, and then continue with engine out SID right away. So we're gonna switch to a navigate part of it. That's real fast. Then the thrust should stay at toga at this moment. Let me reset that so I don't forget. The thrust will stay at toga. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm gonna use FS realistic just so we can have better understanding of how aircraft reacts, because it does help. Now we're gonna use the real turb, and I'm gonna use the Rex Atmo, which will change this yellowish picture to something nice that I've changed. And if you need the settings for it, I will provide them. These are based on my long time experience in real life as a pilot, and they're definitely looking better than the original. As you can see right away, it's changing. Alright, it's looking better at night, looking better at morning and evening, etc. So alright, so yeah, and then at 400 feet, so that's what all at 400, before 400 feet, I'm gonna only of course I'm gonna fly the aircraft. So I'm gonna fly the aircraft, so it's a beta, right? To 400 feet, I'd rather do just paddle, just positively fly the aircraft normal. Let's see. It was a long day. Coordinated, flying the aircraft coordinated, right? It's from 400. This is what I'm gonna start setting all this stuff, right? So I'm gonna use the paddles until 400. Then I might go ahead and look down, because you have to look down, right, to grab the rudder trim and start applying the rudder trim towards the beta. Then as well, I'm gonna identify. So say we have an engine fire, failure or fire, and identify which. So let's say, okay, we have engine 1 or 2 engine fire or failure, and then I do all this 12.5 yada yada and start navigating towards EOC, especially we have mountains here. Then when time permits, so when I'm all on autopilot, I unloaded my my things. I'll call ecom actions, and the FO will read ecom title, and he will do the ecom actions in security engine, meaning we are all gonna verify which engine is that. So we're gonna say okay, engine number 2, verify, confirm. We're gonna shut down engine number 2, so we're gonna slowly move the thrust out towards the idle, and then confirm it and shut down the correct engine. After that, what's gonna be engine secured. I will tell again, I will give a command stop ecam, and I will say call ATC Mayday. So he's gonna call ATC for Mayday. Set the 77 double deuce, but deuce but zeros. 7700. Okay, so yeah, if you forget to you'll call Mayday, but if you forget to set the transponder for 7700 is fine. They'll set you as emergency aircraft anyway, and on their end, so you don't have to worry about it. And just make sure you tell them. Alright, now at cleanup altitude, engine outs, right, we'll push the vertical speed button, FCU button, knob to level off, and then we'll call even though you have different altitude set, we'll push it, level off, call config 1 or conf 1. He's gonna call F speed, and call flap 0, call S speed, and then I'm gonna accelerate to green dot, open climb in MCT. And at green dot, we're gonna open climb MCT to further altitudes, which is gonna be at this sector, it will be 15,000. So we got a lot of mountains. Then after the green dot speed, we're gonna continue ecam. It's a lot of things, guys, for sure, and I haven't done the abnormals in a long time, so for sure I will forget something, but that's for sure. But as long as we're gonna keep it safe, I will try not to. And then we're gonna revert to ecam again, checklist, resets, procedures, we're gonna glance at ecam again, see if we forgot anything. We're gonna see the related procedures of on engine and op, in QRH, abnormal emergency procedures, engine or overweight landing in QRH. Okay, so we want to have that opened already. Okay, QRH, so I'm gonna open it now. And I personally, on my end, if you're somewhat like advanced simmer, or you're a pilot, or you're starting to be one, or you're going for type rating, I think this you gotta do it many times, and then just kind of get into your mechanical, your memory action sort of thing. Okay, so then I will also have a skip minute to skip for takeoff, because obviously it's a lot of explanation, but people like that because they like to understand what's happening, and I would like to hear an explanation before somebody shows something new to me. Alright, so meanwhile looking for the EO engine out. Alright, so what was the engine overweight landing and QRH normal emergency procedures? one engine inoperative. Straight in approach. It's not gonna be circling approach. It's gonna be a straight in sort of. 1912 Alpha. 1912 Alpha. It is. All right, one engine up. Delay gone full until established on final descent. And there's also a option of doing flap 3 approach. Use conf 3 for the approach. Yeah, if a level off expected during final approach, yeah, use conf 3. I apologize for this, but alright, so something changed, but because I can't find this. Let's see the overweight. I'm just gonna. Overweight lane 25, 07 off. Alright, so for the overweight, we use flap 3. For landing and .166.4, I believe. 166.5 is the maximum landing weight, and that's not in our menu, so we're still fine. We're not gonna be even overweight, but and what else? What are else all the notes? Just kind of trying to think. Yeah, there's not much that I found in QRH about this year. Let's see, something changed. But also the part of it is, if you would need to do, well, we can treat it as sort of as the immediate land, so following the engine failure, right? So we're gonna be coming back from this way towards the kind of like a downwind sort of. So at downwind we might maintain a downwind. We're ready. We'll get the flaps 1. We'll activate approach. We'll get all data in with the speed cell, and we'll throw a gear down only at final around 4 or 5 miles out, sort of, so we don't drag out too much. It's gonna be pretty much normal, right? I mean, the aircraft, you'll see, it's not nothing you won't be able to at some point you wouldn't be even able to tell if the engine is out or not. Now, a different story if the aircraft would be heavy. Now, yeah, that one for sure. All right, let's go, I guess. Recall status. All right. I'm gonna do static takeoff. Stable. Oh, 1 sec. The most important thing. Failures, of course. Because I was, you know, I was going through everything and it says, shoot, I think I should forget something. So it's gonna be a fire with damage and engine 1. Fire. Let's see, we're gonna get engine failure rather, but damage. Engine 2 failure with damage. It's gonna be with a speed of. It's gonna be a dramatic failure right off, and at 140. Let's do 140. Okay. Slightly after V1, not right after V1, but slightly. Even more dramatic would be kind of like 135-ish. Yeah, 136. Alright, that's even better. Alright, so there you go. Okay, nice. So let's do it. Hopefully I don't forget anything. Okay. Take off. Alright, so static takeoff. I'm gonna throw it to 50%, then to 70. Release brakes. Toga, Mantoga SRS, thrust balloon. Half stick deflection, speed alive. By 100 knots, we're gonna neutral the stick. V1, hands off, rotate. Alright, looks like we have engine failure. That's 12 degrees up. Positive rate, gear up. Alright, and engine out sit. 12 degrees. Come on, baby, get some more pedal. A little bit more pedal. Wow, that's a lot of pedal. Guys, look at that. Left pedal. And I'm gonna, in the meantime, I'm gonna trim it. See how it's heavy, really heavy. And as I trim, I let go of the pedal just to make sure that trim is gonna catch it. You know what I mean? There you go. My pedals are equal now, autopilot. And then we're gonna heading select towards the EO sit, climbing out, gear up, target 0, rudder trim on, autopilot on, adjust this toe down, and 400 feet past, now we'll call Ecam actions. Alright, Ecam actions, engine 2 fail, engine mode selector, ignition, on, no relight after 30 seconds, engine master 2 off. 30 seconds here. Wow, turn these off. And remember, at 8,000, we're gonna push. See, it's very early climbing, and terrain. That's a good way to see what's happening here. Alright. The 30 seconds is passed and now no relight. Confirm engine number 2 idle. Idle. Engine master 2 off. Confirm off. 2. Engine 2 fire push button on. Agent 1 on. Was it damage? Imbalance or fuel leak? Take a look at hydraulic. The hydraulic pumps. Yeah, it's definitely been damaged, so I'm gonna do 2 agents here. Alright, and then we're approaching 8,000 feet. Engine is secure, stop ECAM. Alright, so we stop the ECAM, secured, we're gonna hit 8,000, push the vertical speed. And approaching half speed here. Flap 1, check. Oh, it's heavy, boy. Yeah, no lights just to make sure. Alright, we're going to the PB04, and I'm gonna switch to secondary and direct to PB04 007. Alright. So, hey. Barely climbing, I wonder what it is. Alright, we are accelerating, okay. Approaching on that speed. Flap 0, speed check. Now we wait for the green dot. It's much better, going better, much better now. Alright, 15, and then at open climb and speed at green dot. There you go. Alright, climbing now, looking good. Then open climb, MCT. Alright, now looking good, continue ECAM. Alright, so if no fuel leak, let's check the fuel leak. 657220. Yeah, I don't think there's a fuel leak. No fuel leak, imbalance, monitor, T-gas mode, select the TA. TA will monitor and then we'll cross speed. Well, we'll monitor it out, alright? We'll avoid ice condition. Consider engine 2 relied. Well, yeah, no, it's been damaged, so no. Climbing to 15, and we're gonna do a right turn holds. -5 Celsius. We're coming out of the goo. It's looking good. Oh, never mind. It's gonna be left turns, okay? 10,000 feet, lights out, and that's gonna actually give you a bit better performance because these are extended. All right, we're gonna call ATC. Jackson Hole departure, American 786. Mayday, mayday, mayday. We have lost engine number 2. Squawking 0700 770, and request coming back to the same field. And give us a few moments here to assess the problem. Attention crew at all stations. Kind of manual hold here and climb to 15 thou with this hold. First gonna do the manual, then we're just gonna switch to this way. See how close the mountains are. Yeah, bad story. Alright. Climbing out at best climb, which is not that bad. Not that best, I would say. Alright, so we'll continue for the ECAM. Avoid icing condition, Gen 2 off, then on. Gen 2 confirm off and on. Unsuccessful, yeah. As far as my memory actions, I would turn the APU on, start APU. Also, this is the second engine, so it switch off the engine, second engine bleed off, and packs, same packs, and switch off the engine pump. Since the right one, I can call out the electrical pump and give it a better, provide better than PTU, constant PTU. reverted to APU is only needed for the power. Alright, we clear out the engine fail, relight and shut down. Gen off. Make sure that we did it all. Okay, engine 2 failed. It's damaged, yeah, so no consideration of relight. Shut down, avoid icing condition, and engine 2 generator fault if unsuccessful, gen off. And we have the rest of the things working as followed. Now we can switch on between pages and see. So for the engine, it's shut down, the temperatures are normal here. APU is available and running. The bleeds, it's providing via the APU. And this high pressure is closed. I wonder what's gonna happen if we open cross bleed here. I believe that's something you don't want to do for the smoke and fumes, if there are fumes and smoke. But at least, yeah, never mind. We just keep it at auto. Pressure looking good. Doors, electrical, yeah. Gen 2 is off. IPU is providing. Hydraulics, yeah. Electrical is feeding that. So the PTU doesn't have to work every time, although, and the fuel is looking good at the moment. Alright, so we continue climbing, barely. Barely climbing. Let's speak English, Commander. Yes, I wanna, with this video, I want to throw it to the FSLABS forum so they can see if there are any problems with the Microsoft Flight Sim controllability as far as a single engine. But I think I already know what was the problem. It has to do to that rudder trim, might be. God damn. Let me nose right a bit. Just kind of to make it even better, because I think it's over. Oh, ooh, wrong button. You see how it happens? How it's easy to get something wrong? I wasn't even thinking about this. I gotta keep that send clock to somewhere more middle, so because I think that we have, it's not that I think, I'm 100% sure the performance is worse with this with a lot of trim. Well, the autopilot does the trim, so try this. No, it won't do it. Okay. So that's a new 0 now. I don't believe there will be any chance of climbing higher out. And it says land APs. Alright, so we're gonna revert to this approaches page. X-ray runway 1, RNAV. And this is Celic 11.7, and it looks like we're all clear with the altitudes here, even though it's 14.9. Looks pretty. All right, so yeah, it's for sure not gonna climb. Let me check something here. Try to manually fly. Nah. Yeah, I mean, I know that A321 is weak aircraft as far as the engines. According to its weight, and you usually have to wait at flight level like 290 in order to step climb. But hey, for sure I wasn't ready for that. That is only gonna stop at 12,000, and that's, yeah. Oh well. Let me try something here. A little bit less of rudder trim. Maybe that's the limitation of the rudder trim available in the sim. Well, it's for sure it's not going to climb even with that, because I thought maybe because of the rudder. Alright, well, let's keep it at 13 then. Hey, don't do that. Start climbing. You know what? You might consider that here, because that's much needed. We go up to 13 on Toga. It doesn't even do that. Come on, baby. A few hundred feet. Jesus. Not a chance, huh? Okay. We'll proceed direct Celic and cross Celic at 11,700 feet. Wow. Yeah, that's it. I for sure will land with flap 3, even though the runway is short. Let me actually, here, we'll keep it at 12. She can't climb anywhere else. I don't see any obstructions as far as now, but we would be in huge trouble like in somewhere higher mountains. But alright, let's get that data in. So it's much less of hectic actions now. Hey, you can descend. Hey, my friend, you can descend. Oh, okay. She doesn't know she can. Let her speed up meanwhile, alright? So it's good like that. Strangely enough, aircraft just blew that speed out. That he could have used it to speed up, which I am as a captain should have thought about it, but I thought the Airbus design a bit smarter. Okay, Jack. As far as Airbus, but who knows? All right, 3013 -9. 0203. And the immense would be I'll now been up 7327. Oof. I saw really bad weather there when we were coming out. I don't think that's gonna cut it though. Let's fly a little bit to the towards east of that, because I can see there are red particles right there. Well, ATC would give you best vectors to be out of the terrain. You see, it's that even here it's not doing it anymore. I think this might be like icing. It might, but it says we can't use it. Well, we don't need this engine up in here, but at least the working one. Let's see that. Yeah, you see there's icing here as well. Oh god. I don't think it will do it, yeah, since it's not enough bleed for that. Wow, that's a bad story about to happen here. Yeah, we'd go right in it. That's how it usually happens when you need it, when you most need it. Come on, speed up, baby. No, don't slow down, speed up. What the fuck? Instead of when she has the thrust that she needs, she would slow the fuck down. What is that? How is that possible? Well, at least 240 now. Alright, let's see, maybe we have some other option. 2 walk 13,000 out of here. Can she climb 13? Let's try. Bet she can. With that new speed, she's better. Not as closely as textbook, but somewhere close to that. Yeah, she's much better. Alright, so we're gonna do it instead, we're gonna do the 2 walk transition. Let's fly direct 2 walk. And that's kind of iffy here as well. Looks like we clear, but in clouds there are mountains always. Make sure to see what I can, and I don't want to get too much into these clouds to get more icing. All right, so to walk 13,000 joggers, and then no procedure turn from joggers to Homwa. Homwa. Oh God, did you do that again? Come on. I thought I've changed that in the menu for it not to do it, and it started to do that again. Now that's what I wanted also to point out. Like, I didn't touch it. I disconnected this, and now all I can, like, I cannot move in cockpit now. Everything comes from my keyboard comes to that box, and that sucks, you know. And I disabled all of this stuff. See? See? And I cannot turn it off. Now I turn it off. Jesus Christ. So even with this disabled, it sometimes does that too. So that's another problem. Because I didn't know about how I can turn it off back then. It just drove me nuts that I couldn't turn it off anyhow. Alright. Oh, and this as well. Here. This as well, right here. If I press with my left mouse button, that's what I do when I move around. That thing always appears. And you can only catch it by left clicking on the EFB. And that's just not good as well, because it always appears, because I'm always doing this and it always appears. Alright, let's continue let's get that approach really nice here. Alright, so the performance, we inserted all the data, and this is going to be configuration 3. Let's of course calculate first. One gotta make sure that we don't crash into the mountain. Rev, hold on and on. NTIs, off, let's say 138.33. E122. Okay, all right, we're good here, but it's got to be conf 3. And it's gonna be, I'm sure it might be good, but not so good. All right, so it's gonna be a medium. All right, so out here, K-Jack 1. Fixing full. So out of here, I'm gonna just do K-Jack 01. Since we no longer need one is gonna be 20 radius. The other one is gonna be 13. And I'm gonna do a conservative one of 0.7. All right. That approach checklist. We're gonna start decelerating joggers in about 5 miles or so. There's another knob here. Alright, so the fuel is looking good. Yeah, it's perfect. Oh, it's at about 90 and 1 at all times. It's crazy. So it's gonna be enough. Convoy 11,700, 11 valves to D7. 1040 and up. Zugen 9,500, and then on to Kolji. Alright, so we are good until 9,500 shell. And I'm only gonna select valve 3 once we start descent on the final descent point. Excuse me. 210. And that's a flap 1. I'm gonna hold off on the flap just now. It's fine, nobody's gonna kill us if we're gonna do 218, 220 instead of 210. Especially if we are emergency aircraft, so we can do whatever the fuck we want. Alright, 11.7. Because I don't really like decelerating that far, especially with the flaps and then these icing conditions. But I don't like the way it's get on that final approach, please. I could get sick. Electrical gen 24, gen 2, since we descend, I'm gonna set it to a green dot. Interesting approach here. Without a mountains. Yeah, it's all over the place.
Terrain, full up.
That's not true. You son of a bitch. And when they change the hold on. Give me the goddamn weather up here. No information, of course. With the latest METAR then. Alright, 310656. What? Oh, the time on the sim is wrong. What time is it now? Okay, well it's 20 minutes ago, I guess. 3013, yeah, that's more like it. I think this sim is on correct temperature here. I mean, is higher temperature down there, down below there. All right, there's a rainbow. A321, yeah. 9 miles, light snow. 10,000 feet, lights on. Might as well use the APU bleed, so get more bleed for the heating and, if needed, the anti-ice. But I don't think it's needed anymore. Flip 1, speed check. That's speed check. Now it's a moment of truth. Okay. First check was briefing, confirm status check. Seatbelts on, VAR set, and DA set, engine most not normal. I mean, not normal, but ignition's on. Alright, flaps 2, speed check. I'm gonna wait on flap 3 until FDP. Yeah, we can do on this here. Alright, she can slow down until land 3, conv 3, and conv 3. There you go. And 16, there she comes. Here's that final descent. Gear down. Flaps 3. Spoilers armed and lights. Alright. It's gonna be no mist. At least in my story. 143, 138 VLS, 143 plus 5, 145. It's just gonna be a more conservative with plus 3 on the app. Alright. Reset.
Hundred above.
Flies nice.
Minimum.
Flies like an Airbus for real. Right. Minimum continue. I see the lights, I can swear. I swear, sir, I see the lights. And I did. I thought I was lying. No, I didn't see the lights.
500.
No, please don't do none of that crazy action when I land. Yeah, she wouldn't definitely not make it with the flaps full here. This plus its elevation is 7,000, 6,000 here. Even less, 650. 6.5. Alright, it's gonna be a firm touch, guys.
100. 50. 30. 20. Retard.
Reverse. That's what it did before, and that's what it's doing now. So I hope this gets fixed, because issues all over the place again. And this has nothing to do with the reverse or anything like that. It's just at high speed. It does it every time when something fails, or you know, I really want for the developers to come and take a look at this, because that's happens. I've had happen this every single time I did a single engine, every time. And I think what it is, and it's just confirmed my idea about what that it is a bug, because I did 5 engine out same way, and every time it happened. No, I was thinking it might be the rudder trim, which kind of supposed to be left at the new position, and it's not supposed to affect any nose wheel, and this time it does. Well, and this time I switched it off and it still does that. So yeah, hopefully this is gonna be fixed, because with normal operations everything's fine, but this it happens when you do many touch and goes, or something is not it's really a bad story, because it's a good aircraft, but with this thing cannot really practice on it, because it just stands on control, and this has nothing to do with my control, because I was good on the pedals normally, and just normal.